Today we're going to be making some peach salsa. Now this recipe comes from my complete book of home preserving. This is put together by Ball, and my peach salsa is the recipe I'm going to be following. So we're going to start off by getting, we need to have 6 cups of peaches peeled and prepared. Now I picked these peaches right off my tree last night. And they are so good. These are my Alberta peaches. They just became ripe, and I'm not kidding. These are the best and sweetest peaches you've ever had. Now these peaches, I can actually peel these with a knife right after I pick them as long as they're ripe. So let me show you how I do this. Now I wanted to show you just for this sample. The next one I'm not going to cut it in half, but because these are nice and ripe, I just take the peach peeling and I just peel it off like in one peel. Now I have some water that's been treated with some Fruit Fresh, so I'm just going to put these right inside of here, and I will bring you back as soon as I have 6 cups of beautiful peaches that we can cut up and get ready for our salsa. There you go. Easy peasy. Now this one this is how I'm gonna peel the rest of them. I'm just gonna peel the skins off. It's a little easier if I cut it in half. I may just cut them in half. It just, I don't know, for whatever reason, it just makes it easy to kind of get it in one big swoop by doing it this way. So we'll see. Some are riper than others, so of course, the riper they are, the easier these peelings come off. Now, if you have peaches that are a little harder to peel, all you have to do is get a little bit of boiling water and just, dip your peaches in the boiling water, and then for about maybe 30 seconds to a minute, and then your peaches will come out and the peelings will peel right off. And be sure to put them in some ice water after you do that so they don't continue to cook. I like to do this just because it's the least amount of time that they're boiling in hot water. So might have to eat me a couple of these. These are so good. I wait for these peaches every year. They're my absolute favorite peach. They're a yellow peach. Now I do have another yellow peach out on my trees. It's from my miniature peach tree. It's called a pixie peach. And I do a lot of fun stuff with those peaches, but these are my preferred peach out of all of them that I have. I also have a white peach tree. That makes amazing pies, so. Okay, so our 6 cups of peaches are all ready, diced up and peeled. And to a pan, we are going to heat up the pan. We're gonna add a 1/2 cup of white vinegar. You want to make sure that this is 5% acidity, and then you're going to add your peaches to your pan. And we're just going to let those start cooking, and in the meantime, we're going to get the rest of our ingredients prepared. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to start prepping our jalapeno peppers. So all I'm going to do is cut these little stem ends off, just like this. This recipe is going to call for 4 peppers. I'm just going to cut them down the middle, and I always wear gloves when I do hot peppers. Sometimes I think you really don't need them, but you don't know until your hands and your eyes and everything are burning later if you really needed them or not. So I don't take a chance. I'm kind of sensitive. I do de-seed them. I maybe leave a couple seeds in there, but for the most part, I take these out. I take the middle part out, the white pith part, and then we're going to chop these up finely. Now, if you wanted to chop these up finer, you could. This is perfectly fine for me. Without the seeds, I don't ever feel like the jalapenos are that hot. Sometimes they are, but for the most part, I really enjoy them. I've got a couple of these Azure peppers that I picked fresh out of my garden. I'm going to be cutting up some of those. Again, I'm going to take these middle parts out. So this recipe calls for 1 red pepper, and I'm going to be using my Vidalia onion chopper to chop the onion and the red peppers. We're going to put a 1/2 cup of cilantro. I'm going to kind of chop this up roughly. Along with the red onion, I'm actually going to be adding a little bit of my white onion, just because I want to use the rest of this up. We're going to put all of our cilantro and jalapenos in there. We're going to put in our red pepper, and we're also going to be putting in our red onion, just like so. Give this a little stir. Boy, it smells wonderful already. Now I'm going to get my water bath canner going, even though I have a few more ingredients to add. We are going to be adding a clove of garlic. Now you can chop this if you want. I actually always mince my garlic, just because even though I love garlic, I don't really like getting big chunks of it when I'm eating my meals. So I'm going to put it through this little mincer. We are going to be putting some cumin in here. We're going to put 1½ teaspoons of cumin. So there's 1½ teaspoons. Now we're going to be adding some regular pepper. And you're basically going to heat this up until it just comes to a little thickened point here, and then we are going to jar this up. All right, it's time to start jarring up our salsa. We're just going to put this directly into our jars. I'm using pint-sized jars. We're just going to stir out any bubbles that are in the jars. And from there, we'll just put a little bit more in if they need it, because we want it to go directly up to a 1/2. And this is going to be the perfect amount. I'm not kidding. We couldn't have got any closer if we tried. All right, I'm going to leave a little bit of, let me get a little bit of peach here. I'm going to try this for you because I do have a little bit of sauce in there, so you can at least know how it came out. And then I'm going to go ahead and clean the tops of these jars. I'm going to put clean lids and rims on them, and I'm going to stick them in a boiling water bath canner, and I'm going to can those for 15 minutes. Thought I'd show you a little something my grandma taught me a long time ago. I actually have 2 of these hanging in my cupboard. This is my regular lids, or my regular bands, and then I have some of the wide mouth cans in there. And all I did was take one of these coat hangers and just pull it apart, and then I can easily store these lids for when I need them, and they don't take up tons and tons and tons of space. It's just a great way to do it. Now I just connect it again, just like that, and hang it on a nail in my pantry. Well, we are gonna sample our peach salsa, and I'm gonna tell you exactly how it came out. Ooh, that's spicy. Sweet and spicy. Oh, I'm having a huge birthday party next week for my grandbaby's first birthday. There's going to be a lot of people here. I'm going to serve some of this, and they are going to love it. Ooh, it's very good. Those jalapenos, I'm glad I didn't leave too many seeds because they are spicy. So thank you for watching today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you'll give canning a try. If you've got extra peaches on the vine or vegetables from your garden, look up some of these great recipes. They are just wonderful. And they're wonderful to have on hand come January. when it's colder and you don't have access to these things, you're still going to be eating fresh. So thank you so much. If you're not a subscriber, please consider subscribing to my channel. Give me a like, a thumbs up, or ring that bell for future notifications, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.